So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that next week, everything is going to change. And some people are going to come in, they're going to comment, not listen to the video or watch it and say, oh yeah, nothing's going to change. It's going to be more of the same. But we're seeing some big things change right now that may in fact allow something like SHIB and many other assets in the space to start opening up a bit, start moving a little more wild as we start to really get deeper into alt season. Now, we have seen, or we've been in this period of, high inflation, hot job reports, high interest rates. And the interesting thing is that this is all starting to change now. All right. We actually have seen cooling inflation reports, which is good. The last CPI report was the first one in a while that did not come in hot. We're starting to see cooling jobs reports. We have one coming out today. I'm not sure what it is right now. It's going to come out before this video gets out, but we're starting to see the jobs market cool a little bit. And what we're also seeing right now is pivots abroad. For example, both Canada and the European Central Bank have actually cut interest rates. I believe these are their first interest rate cuts since we've been dealing with high inflation. And now next week, we have our next CPI report. Well, yeah, we do have a CPI report, but we have our next FOMC meeting. Now, this is taking place on June 11th and 12th. And the interesting thing about this is the CPI report is actually coming on June 12th. So it's coming during this FOMC meeting. Now, if we do end up getting another flat CPI report or a little bit of a cool CPI report, it is very likely that the Fed does in fact give us our first pivot, our first interest rate decrease. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this is kind of a test decrease, like a quarter point, something like that. That's what I believe both Canada and the European Central Bank did. So this may kind of be that test to see if their plan can be continued, if they can slowly decrease interest rates over time without tipping us into a recession or causing inflation to go crazy again. That's kind of where we're at right now. Now, for a long time, I've said it's likely we don't get interest rate decreases until the fall. If the Fed decides to kind of do their own thing and really try to hammer on inflation, that's what they'll probably do. But it wouldn't be surprising from this pressure abroad and from some of these things slowly starting to creep down, and from especially an election coming this fall, if they do in fact do an interest rate decrease next week. Now, why this is important is it means that a lot of this pressure that retail has been feeling starts to lift just a little bit. I know some people think that, Fed pivots, they cause big drops in the market. It can, but remember, there's so much capital that is pent up on the sidelines. There's so much that's sitting on exchanges. There's so much pent up demand in this market. It wouldn't be surprised me if that's our catalyst to really get a nice little next leg. All right. I'm not saying we're going to go to the moon or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's more of a step down the right path. It's more of kind of this getting back on track with what we're used to seeing. Lower inflation, lower rates, whatever jobs market, right? But pay attention, because next week I think is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big indication of what may come for a little while, because the next FOMC meeting isn't until almost 2 months later. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Things are starting to heat up a little bit. I'm sure you guys can see that in the market. The portfolios are starting to look a little more green, and it looks like we may in fact have this very nice June like we were talking about. So appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Well, let me know what you think we're going to see moving forward, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.